Hello friends and potential friends. Yeah, well, I'm recording this on Sunday, the Sunday of Memorial Day weekend. And this is probably going to be a long video, but I'm going to start off with something real short. Let's take a walk into the lab. This is something you don't see very often. Not a thing. In fact, as soon as this is finished, I'm going to be shutting it down. And I won't be opening it back up until I get ready to start planting seeds for the fall and winter garden. Kind of sad, isn't it? What few plants were still in there are now out on the patio. Some of them, like the rosemary right there and some comfrey, are going to be going with me when I go on my travels. And everything else is going to stay here and be on its own. Incidentally, the ginger and turmeric tower is towering. I believe it has filled in every pocket now, and everything there is growing good. I can't wait to see what that looks like when I get back. There's some of the pineapples that I cut knobs off of that one plant. There's two of them right there that are doing good. Those are the two that I just stuck in the ground. And these two in the bigger pots, I put in water and let them grow roots before I put them in the ground. They'll be staying here because they don't have a ghost of a chance of surviving where I'm going to be going. Still have some potatoes growing in here. More rosemary, comfrey. Actually getting a few of last year's marigolds popping up here. And a couple of Swiss chards in that one tower that I never finished taking apart. Aloe, still hanging in there, as is the elderberry. Now this is probably going to be a long video because I intend to document everything. Because in a few days I'm going to be leaving all of this behind. Sweet potatoes, starting to droop a little bit in the noonday heat. Although for the last few days it's been pretty nice here. Just barely making it up to 80. And there's the dragon tree back there, coming along nicely. One big pineapple is getting bigger and bigger. I sure hope that'll wait until I come back before it ripens. I want to see that thing in all its glory. A few Praxis cherry tomatoes still hanging around. The herb tower, I still have thyme and some basil in here, and there's still a little bit of lettuce. I might have another BLT before too long. More rosemary. Comfrey's doing good, though it's starting to droop a little bit. This one jalapeno, I've been picking a lot of peppers off of that guy. And the other jalapenos and sweet banana peppers, I've been getting a lot off of them too. They're kind of beat up a little bit because we've had some pretty strong winds the last few days. Still have more sweet potato slips I haven't done anything with. And it probably won't do anything more with them. We'll see what they do. Oh, there's Snowflake out resting in the shade. The garden peach tomatoes, I have been picking a bunch of those things. Gobs and gobs of them. I think I got 1.5 big freezer bags full of them so far. But they're starting to slow down now. Probably will not be producing many more fruit, except the ones that are on them already. The greens are still going crazy. I hope those things will decide to bolt while I'm gone. Maybe I'll get some seeds out of them when I come back. Cayenne peppers, never really did a lot, but this kale has sure done a lot. Back in the corn patch, these took a little bit of a beating in the wind too, but they're hanging in there pretty good. Most of them are a couple of feet tall. And those two Russian Mammoth sunflowers are just reaching for the sky. Give you a little hint. Granted, they are in a raised bed, but I would guess they're at least 5 feet tall. More sweet banana peppers, and a few fairly decent sized bell peppers. At least decent by my standards. This one's getting too heavy. I need a support for that. But there are bell peppers in here. I've done a lot better with the bells this year than I ever have before. And I hope that they handle the heat well. I probably will be picking a lot of those before I leave too. Here's some more sweet potato slips. One more pineapple. These are the Floridad tomatoes. I'm still getting a few of those off of there. They didn't produce as well as I would really like, but so far they're still hanging in there. And more Praxis cherry over here that are laying all over the place. But I've been getting pockets full of them every day too. Another pineapple. That one I feel certain will wait until I get home. A few more sweet potato slips in here. Another pineapple, another pineapple. The ginger that I put out in the sun, it's kind of drooping right now, but it's still growing pretty good. And remember that purslane I said I was going to dig up and replant? It seems to be happy with where I put it. And this is the sweet potato from seed experiment that is continuing. And finally we come to the patience garden. This is the last year I have to be patient. And I'll tell you, it's getting harder and harder. This one here was especially enticing the other day. And that one down there is not doing too bad either. The rest of these are filling in fairly well. And next year I get to eat asparagus. Now let's go back to the mini orchard, see everything that's going on back there. And as we enter the mini orchard, we're greeted by hibiscus blooms. Those are volunteers too, because I've never planted hibiscus in a pot. Lemongrass doing pretty good. Just keeps on going. There's another hibiscus in another pot. And one thing I am very happy to report, I just spotted this yesterday. The magnolia is making a comeback. Or no, gardenia, I'm sorry. That's a gardenia. That's one of my favorite flowers, and I thought that freeze of Christmas last year killed it dead. But I just left it there, and it's coming back. The avocado that I planted a couple, 2-3 years ago, is getting bigger and bigger and filling out nicely. Off here in the shade patch, got my original Ponderosa lemon tree. It's got a lot of new growth on it. And it's got a lemon. Actually, it's got 2 lemons. Did I get that one? They're not very big right now, but these things are pretty slow growing, especially back here in the shade. Those ought to be ready to make a pie out of when I come back. The beauty berries are almost ready to bloom. And my loquat is reaching for the sky. The Meyer lemon tree, doing good. And there's a bug. That needs to come off of there. This one I grew from seed, I guess it's been 4 years now. And it's about 8 feet tall. Some rosemary out here. And a few more pineapples from the plantation. That one in the pot sadly did not make it. But I've got plenty more to replace it. Oh, there's a couple more back there. The rosemary down here is doing good. The guava tree I'm not so sure about. The top of it seems to be dying back, but it still has new growth down near the bottom. So we'll see what that does over time. And there's one of my pomegranates. That one's doing pretty good. I guess it gets enough sunlight out here. And as we walk back here, there's a fig tree back in the back. Still plenty of leaves on it. The other fig out here in the sun looks like it's dropped all its leaves. Done that several times this year already. But the mulberry seems to be happy where it's at. And there's some more rosemary and a few more trash trees trying to come up. Still got a couple of sugar cane stalks back there. And my new Ponderosa lemon that I grew from seed a couple years ago, that one's going to give me a lemon this year, it looks like. Just got that one. You saw how thrilled I was when I noticed the blossoms on it a few weeks ago. It dropped most of the blossoms, but that one decided it wanted to grow. And I'll be satisfied with that. And we have another pomegranate back here in the shade. The blueberry is still alive. Just barely, but it is still alive. And there's an avocado that I planted back here and doesn't seem to be doing too good. But overall, that's a pretty good overview of everything out here in the garden. And in a few days, I'll be saying goodbye to the garden for quite a while. Won't be back here till nearly fall. But until then, I've got a good record of how it looks now. And when I get back, I'll be making another record of how it looks then, and I'll share that with you. Until then, we'll see what else I can find to point the camera at. See you next time.